Dear viewers, welcome you all to our show OSA Orthopedic Solution Academy. Hope you all are well during this COVID-19 pandemic situation by wearing masks and keeping distance with each other. I want to say Ramadan Mubarak to everybody and want to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the remission of this deadly coronavirus. Dear viewers, today our topic is upper limb trauma treated by Elizarov. Sometimes we face difficult trauma in case of upper limb that we can be managed by the magic of Elizarov. And as like before, today our speaker is one of the best presenter in Bangladesh, a very learned person, Professor Mofakharul Barisar from Bangladesh. I would like to request Professor Mofakharul Barisar to join with us.
Thank you, Kadmir.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much, sir. Dear viewers, so we have two learned academic experts with us. One of them is very prestigious, Professor Abdul Ghani Molla sir, Director NATO, the present President of Bangladesh Orthopedic Society, as well as the Secretary of Asami Bangladesh. So welcome to our show, Orthopedic Solution Academy, Professor Abdul Ghani Molla sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Dear viewers, we have also a very dynamic academic expert from Patna, India, Dr. Shamsul Huda sir, Consultant Elizarov, and Joint Secretary of Asami, India. Welcome, sir. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Dr. Rashu.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, I am Dr. Mahmoud Tanvir Ashraf with you as a moderator. Dear viewers, how we can manage the trauma of upper limb by Elizarov? That will be the main discussion point today. And now I would like to request Professor Mofakharul Barisar to present his magnificent presentation. Professor Mofakharul Barisar, would you please show your screen with us?
Thank you, Tanvir, for your nice introduction. And this is our 12th episode. And during the Ramadan, we are going to start the first one, this in Ramadan. Before that, we have finished 11 lectures, including India and Russia. And today I'd like to talk regarding the role of Elizarov in upper limb trauma. Before that, I would like to pay my attention to our director of the NITOR and as well as the president of the Bangladesh Orthopedic Society and secretary Asami Bangladesh, and our very good friend, junior friend, Dr. Shamsuddha from Bihar, Patna. And I always love to talk on Elizarov because I love it from the very beginning. And this is my training centers. And I'd like to show my centers. I always love to show this. This is Kiev, Ukraine, Tashkent, where I did my MS and post-graduation and PhD from Tashkent. And this is my Kurgan Center, biggest orthopedic center, the orthopedic capital. And this is our institute. I love to show this one also, biggest in this area. And this is a very nice, fantastic institute, 1,000 bedded hospital. And Ghanimullah is the director of the institute now of that one. And currently I'm working these two places. And this is my private center. This is myself. I always love to show this one, man, myth, method, and magician, 4M. And this is, see in Kurgan Center, how the Elizarov patients, including the child and the adult and adolescent, they are doing exercises by the direction of the instructor of the physiotherapy department, the rehabilitation center. You can see here how they are doing exercises with Elizarov frame in different parts of the human body. You can see here, this is a fantastic exercise. Whenever you apply the Elizarov, you can take dumbbell in your hand, your apparatus in the forearm, and now you can rotate your ring. And at the same time, you are doing exercises with upper limb. You can see the physiotherapy center, how they are doing. These are the activities, the climbing of the stairs by the guidance of the instructors. So 5.8 million people die from traumatic injury in the world, and 10% of the world fatalities, and 95% traumatic death in the developing country. And if you think about the Elizarov in fracture management, we should have to think about the complex open and closed fracture of long bones, intra-articular fractures, fracture dislocation, condylar fractures, commutator fractures, unstable, and with bone loss, that is segmental defects, compound fracture with soft tissue loss, with compartment syndrome, and grade 3C fracture and the short bone fractures. The incidence of wall sepsis in open fractures are Gastilo 1, if you think about Gastilo 1 to 2%, 2 to 7%. In Gastilo 3 type, 10% to 25%, and type 3A, that is 7%. Again, if you think about the Gastilo 3B, it will be 10 to 50%. And regarding the C, 25 to 50% with an amputation rate of 50% or more. Principles of treatment: any open fracture should be treated as an emergency. Through initial evaluation is necessary to diagnose other life-threatening injuries. Appropriate and adequate antibiotic therapy you should have to give or advise the patient. Debridement and irrigation of the wound if it is mandatory, and stabilization of the fracture is also very necessary. We must perform delayed closure of the wound within 3 to 7 days. Decision should be taken for early amputation. If compartment syndrome develops, treatment should be started immediately. Rehabilitation of the affected extremity. Life-threatening injuries are 90% of open fractures occurs from motor vehicle collision. 30% of patients with open fractures have injuries to other systems. In case of open fractures, we should follow the followings. Identify the intervenous sites. We must obtain chest and skeletal X-ray, total blood count, urine analysis, serum creatinine, serum electrolytes should be determined. Accurate documentation of the anamnesis and physical findings in admission is important, particularly in case of multiple system injury. This is a huge challenge for the orthopedic surgeons. We must think about the 5C regarding the complications, regarding contractures, regarding considerations and correct corrections and the cases. So what are our known knowns? There are known knowns, there are things we know. There are known unknowns, that is to say we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns, the ones we don't know, Regarding the complications of the fractures of the any long bones, you'll find the deep infection, superficial infection, wire trunk infection during treatment, implant failure, flap failure, and vascular injury, and at the same time, antibiotic toxicity and weakness. Hansen told regarding the 7Ds, when you are treating the open fractures or any complicated fractures, you will get 7Ds: despair, divorce, destitute, depression, delinquency, default, and death. Regarding the treatment, we must have some prerequisite environment: good host, clean, healthy, and viable bed, no infection, no necrotic tissue, vascular, good soft tissue, and adequate bone. And of course, the stability is absolutely mandatory. And we must consider the degree and duration of the stiffness, patient's age, patient's attitude toward the treatment, and his or her desire to restore the amplitude of joint movement. Flexion is usually the accepted functional level. So now let us talk about the starting. I told you that I'm going to talk on the upper extremity. This is the view of the upper extremity of the clavicle in APL axial view, how to take the picture. This is the position of the humerus. When you want to apply the application of Elizarov in the humerus or radius ulna. If you have this kind of device, it is better to apply. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to apply in the humerus and the radius ulna. Position of the forearm, you can see here. You just go for a skeletal traction in the olecranon process, and you can very easily, with the help of one or two assistants, you can apply your apparatus in the forearm and the radius and ulna. And these are the some important things before going to start the operation. You should have to mind about this one. You could have to think about this one. And anatomy is also a mandatory regarding the neurovascular structures of the humerus. You can see here in the right side, these are the structures. And regarding the same zones in the proximal humerus, you can see the left side wire are inserted from the lateral, that is from the alternative from the anterolateral or posterolateral through the deltoid muscle. You can see here, and wire insertion, the tip of the wires in the humeral shaft should just perforate the cortex. And if inserted too deeply, they can injure the neurovascular structure. So you must keep it in your mind regarding the insertion of the wire in the upper part of the humerus. So these are the olive wires. These are also always available. You can see whenever you need the olive wire, you can use this kind of olive wires. So this is the very important scheme for insertion of the wires in the humerus. You can see from left to right side. Whenever you are putting the wires, how you can go for the wires. You can see here how you position of the wires. This is position of the wires. When you're putting from front side, you must flex your forearm. Same case here. When you are putting from this side, you must extend your forearm. This is the first ring and second wires, two wires, and how to put the wires. And this is the final view. So diagram the level for wire insertion of the humerus. We have divided this one into 7 segments. You can see at the level of the clavicle or the upper of the humerus, this is proximal part, the level of the humeral head, the level of the surgical neck, this is the level of the forearm, and level of the middle third of the humerus, and this is the level of the lower 1/3 of the humerus, and this is the level of the humeral condyle. These are the 7 parts you can divide. It will be easier for you to introduce the wires. Neurovascular structures of the forearm. Before going to introduce the wires, you must think about these 3 important nerves: median nerve, ulnar nerve, and the ulnar artery. You can see here how they are passing in the proximal part of the near the elbow, how they are going. This is radial artery, you can see, and at the same time superficial radial nerve, very important. And this is the ulnar artery. So level of the anatomical part of the forearm. Again, we have cut this one in the forearm in the 7 parts. Same thing you can see here. Whenever you are going to start the introduce of the wires, you will be able to learn after 2 or 3 or 4 operations. If you do, if you assist your senior surgeon, then you will be able to learn how to introduce the wires. Now let us see some case illustrations. This is the clavicular fracture. You can see the varieties of clavicle fractures. Clavicle fractures, you can see. There are lots of other methods also. This is mini Elizarov. This is the mini Elizarov. This is mini Elizarov. All mini Elizarov you can see. Now I'm going to show you the case number 1. See, this is a case of 18 days old of fractured dislocation right acromioclavicular joint. This is the right acromioclavicular joint. You can see here, and this is just you put a wire and then 2 wires here, 2 wires here. Then you can fix this with mini Elizarov. See, 2 wires. You should have to keep it in your mind when you are putting the wires. Just you will feel yourself you are piercing the first cortex and the second cortex, and this is in between the proximal and distal fragment. And here we have put the mini bar. This is called mini Elizarov apparatus. Now you can see here, dear friends, follow up after 3 weeks, and this is before, and this is final. And second case, you can see 23 years old male, 10 years old, comminuted fracture right clavicle. You can see here, comminuted fracture. What I have done here, you can see put the 1 guide wire, then mini Elizarov, 2 from the proximal part and 2 from the distal part. And then You can see here, follow-up after 4 weeks, and this is patient with the mini Lizarov apparatus can go for exercises. This is after 6 weeks. You can see here consolidation, callus is forming. Now you can see this is the view of the clavicle is going on. Patient is doing the exercises, and this is before treatment, and this is after removal of the apparatus. Now you can see the external view of the patient. Follow-up after 4 months, you can see the good consolidation, good callus formation, good union, and this is before. So after 4 months follow-up. Now you can see another one here, right acromioclavicular dislocation treated by screw fixation in combined military hospital, Dhaka. Then there was a problem, patient was complaining all the time with pain. Then I have removed this one. And what I have done, the mini Lizarov apparatus, after osteosynthesis by mini Lizarov, you can see here the bar, the wire, and this is the only the mini Lizarov apparatus, 2 here and 2 distally. And this is, you can see before treatment, this is the radiograph, this is after removal of the apparatus, 5 months follow-up. And this is published in American Journal, Juniper Orthopedics and Rheumatology, Open Access Journal. Now let us see another case, 78 years old male patient, open fracture dislocation of the left shoulder. You can see here, radiograph, the open fracture here, wood dislocation. Now what we have done from external, we have put the multiple olive wires here, and we have fixed the proximal and distal part, and this is the console wire, this is the Huffring, 78 years old male patient. So this is before, and this is after 3 months follow-up and clinical appearance of the patient. You can see here. Now, you know the NAIDS classification. I don't want to go all through this NAIDS classification. Now let us see here. 28 years old male patient with open fracture dislocation of the right shoulder. Here you can see the 1, 2, 3, and 4 parts. This is CT scan, and this is treatment. During treatment, how we have put the closely under SIAM control. You can see these are the multiple wires, and we fixed with K wires, and this is the half ring and half arch. This is the ring half arch with multiple K wires. Now you can see after 4 months follow-up, patient after removal of the apparatus. Now let us see another case. 40 years old, greater tuberosity, neck of the right humerus. And this is, I'm talking about only the Lizarov fixation. At the same time, he had a volar Barton fracture in the left side, and we have treated this with the Lizarov apparatus. Now you can compare after 3 months follow-up. Fracture of the fracture dislocation of the left shoulder, gastrilo 2A, and segmental fracture of the left humerus. You can see here. You can fix it, and I have put a guide wire inside, reduce this one, and guide wire inside to align the axis and to increase the circulation. And this is after treatment. You can see after 15 days, the removal of the apparatus. So this is also gastrilo 2 fracture humerus. You could put the simple cast also, but thinking about the oblique fracture, I did it with the Lizarov, putting a guide wire, simple, and then this is the after 4 months follow-up. This is another one, open fracture. This is during treatment. You can see after 4 months follow-up, and this is also short oblique fracture. You can see this make you the non-union of the middle humerus. That's why I put a simple 2 rings and 2 wires. And after treatment, the good callus formation. This is also comminuted fracture. You can see shape of the humerus, and at the same time shape of the scapular fracture. And this is we treated with the Lizarov, pressure to the Lizarov, you can see, and this is the final follow-up clinical appearance to the patient after only 5 months. So this is open fracture with ipsilateral humerus, right shape with open fracture with radius and ulna, gastrula 2A. You can see I have put the Elizarov apparatus and then patient is doing the exercises, and this is the final follow-up, final treatment. Now you can see the case, sites of injury, very difficult case. You can see the bag of bones here. This is floating elbow. We have treated open fracture. The bone quality is not good. The skin is very bad. And then you can see the patient can use his hand, perineal hygiene. He can do. See, this is only for possible only due to Elizarov. So this is a fracture of the olecranon. You can see red marking here. What we have done, very simple. You can see what we have done, only one olive, fixed it with only half ring, and then this is wire and with the hinges here. So this is after treatment, only 3 months follow-up. This is a case of, again, open fracture, left olecranon gastrula 2. See here, here. So this is the olecranon gastrula 2. I'm talking about the open fractures here during treatment. So this is the final follow-up, good callus formation. And this is, you can see, oblique fracture of the ulna, 1 month old fracture. This young lady came to my place, and then what I have done, see, so this is half arch, 1 ring, and olive, and then doing exercises. You can go for exercise with the patient this way, and this is the final follow-up you can see. So this is the Montegia fracture dislocation. You can see here, you can go for, it was an open case, the rare case. And then what we have done, put a guide over here, and automatically radial head was reduced in the position. So this is after the follow-up, you can see good consolidation, good callus formation, patient is happy. So this is the case of segmental fracture of radius and ulna. These are the difficult cases. You can open fracture, gastrula 3, you can go for plating or any other external fixator. But Elizarov is good for these kind of fractures. And what after 1 month follow-up, this is after 5 months follow-up. And you can see here, this is a good callus formation with good alignment only after 6 months. So this is a patient with gastrula 2. Again, you can see here, and with only 1 ring here, and 2 multiple wires with post. It is reduced, and after treatment, you can see here clinical appearance of the patients only after 4 months. This is also same case, open fracture, gastrula 2, and this is how we have reduced, put 1 guide wire, make the alignment, half ring here, 2 ring here, and then this is the final follow-up you can see only after 5 months. So this is a comminuted intra-articular fracture. Of course, you can go for plating, but at the same time, you should have to think about that one in the distal radioulnar joint, DRUS. So beautifully we have reduced by 2 rings here and 1 half ring with hinges. And then this is, you can see the before surgery, and this is after the surgery, after removal of the apparatus. So this is also volar bottom fracture, intra-articular. At the same time, you can do this, you can very easily or fantastically reduce with the Elizarov apparatus. So this is the shape of the fifth metatarsal. You can put a cast, simple cast, or you can put a split. But if you have mini Elizarov apparatus fixator, very simple, you can put obliquely wires here and here, and easily you can reduce, and 100% this is reduced. So patient can write to this, he can utilize his hand with mini Elizarov fixator. So this is another case, this is the same case, see the follow-up. This is a machinery injury. Fourth and treat metacarpals, second metacarpals, and then what we have done, we have reduced the K wires, put the reserve, lengthen the thumb, and at the same time, patient can write with his hand. You can see here only after the treatments or 1 month follow-up after the treatment of the reserve apparatus. You can see here, and this is 2.5 cm lengthening of the thumb is visible, and this is published in Medcrave American Journal. And see, my center, whenever the patient is wearing the apparatus in any part of the body, and dear friends, so patients doing reserve fixator in humerus, you can see here. Always advise your patient, go for exercise. The fundamental principle of reserve apparatus is load and motion. You can see here, patient doing exercises with the reserve in the humerus, in the forearm, and at the shoulder region. Always suggest your patient to go for exercises, which helps all the time for
But
bone healing.
we cannot see your screen, sir. We can just hear your voice.
Okay?
We cannot see your screen, sir.
Now?
We can just hear your
You
voice.
cannot hear my voice?
So we can hear your voice, but we can't see your screen.
No picture?
We are on the during treatment.
Oh, this screen is not seeing the screen.
No, sir. We cannot see you moving also.
How many? These are all video. Video is hanged probably. Okay, let me try again to go proceed further. You don't see?
No, sir.
Oi. Can you see me, Tanveer?
No, sir. We can't see you, sir. We only can hear you, sir. We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Hang. Few seconds. Just wait. Little bit wait. Now you can see.
Yes, sir. We can see you now, sir. We can see you moving. We can see you alive.
Sure, problems. Can you see?
That was a magnificent presentation. I think, though a lot of slides are waiting for the presentation, lots of experience by watching the cases. And we, the junior doctors, can learn many things from this type of lectures. We have our very learned and prestigious academic expert, Professor Abdul Ghani Mullah, sir. Sir, would you say something during this interval period about the upper limb extremity treatment by Elizarov? What type of experience do you have? I know that you have lots of experience in Elizarov. Interval period, we want to gather some knowledge from you.
Thank you, Dr. Tanveer. Good afternoon. Best wishes to the learned speaker, Honored Professor Bari, our colleagues in Patna, Dr. Fadul Huda, Samsul Huda, one of the good conducting person and consultant of orthopedics, Dr. Tanveer Ashraf, and also the best wishes, Raj TV. They are circulating it and they are arranging it in a good moment. First of all, I would like to pay my homage to the martyrs of Corona all over the world, particularly in Bangladesh and India. and more specifically the doctors and the health workers who are dying. By this time in Bangladesh, about 10,000 people, 10,000 people have been died. Out of them, about 500 doctors uh, died in the pandemic corona. So we pray to Almighty for the departed soul. So this is a fantastic presentation. I think Elizabeth is a very good option for some for many areas.
Yeah, dear viewers, we are facing lots of problems in networks.
Yes, network problem. In the meantime,
Yeah,
if you allow, can I just share one or two cases? But
yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely. We want to utilize our time properly.
yeah, exactly. Because as we all know, Elizaro has been a boon in compound fractures of upper limb and lower limb. I'll just try to share one or two cases. Uh, can you see my slide?
No, yet not.
Not.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, yeah. Now we can see.
Okay. My presentation is visible.
Yeah, it's visible, but not in full screen. Yeah, now it's full screen. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Tanvir. I'm just sharing one or two cases of Elizaro and upper limb trauma. This is a case of compound. Lots of pus was coming through this wound. So we cannot put a plate, we cannot put a nail in this case because of the wound. If you put an external fixator, the elbow will be stiff. So I decided to put Elizaro in this case, put on the wires and put rings. I used olives to reduce the fracture here, and then over it I applied the rings. So this is the case. This is a range of elbow movements. And this you can see in the short case, after 3 months, the 3.5 months, the ring was removed. The bone is very well united in this case. You can see the full range of movements. The distal humerus. Another case, compound humerus fracture, distal humerus fracture. Elizaro was applied. Well, dressing was done. So it also healed very well. This is a case of distal and volar bottom fracture where we always do a plating, open up, do a plating, and then remove after 1 year. So in this case, I applied a minimalistic 1.5 ring Elizaro frame, 1 wire in the metacarpus and 2 wires in the radius ulna and a hinge along with a very good reduction post-op. You can see. You can see the movement patient can do in this case. And the healing has been very well. The ring was removed after 2.5 months. The healing is very good. So instead of going out more big incisions, applying plate, we can go with Elizaro cases and get a very good optimal results. Similar case, a very wide compound fracture with fastomia was done, multifragmentary cases. Of radiation ulna, I applied Elizaro with hinges. And a skin graft was also applied in this case. And along with olive wires were applied in the radiation ulna to hold the fracture. It also healed very well. This is another case of a post-forward fracture. Plate was applied and the patient came with a lot of pus. I removed the dead tissue and applied Elizaro. It is healing very well. This is still in the phase of healing. So these are few small cases I wanted to share with you. Because of lack of time, I'm not going into full details. These are my Elizaro mentors from which I learned my Elizaro along with Baris sir. Thank you.
Tanvi,
Oh, Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Shamsuluddin, sir. Thank you for your nice presentation. I would like to come back to our the president of the Bangladesh Orthopedic Society, Professor Abdul Ghani Mullah, sir, for his speech.
Sorry for the interruption because of internet connection and the so thanks Dr. Samsuluddin for your beautiful presentation also. What I said that Barisar is attached to us. Professor Barisar is connected with us.
Yes, sir. He is connected with us. But sir, you have to
Are
unmute
you
yourself.
hearing? Are you hearing,
Yes,
sir?
sir.
No problem.
Oh,
Yes,
that's the
sir.
problem. So what I think that Dr. Samsuluddin from Bihar with linked with us, the legend Professor Bari is the Elizabeth man in Bangladesh. Before that, many of the teachers like Professor Abdul Samad Sheikh, M. Amjad Hussain, they are trying. But when Bari Sahib is coming, then every problems of the orthopedics, the problems which are not uh, successfully done by any other method, and that will be done by Elizarov, who is coming back from Russia. And when he is coming to Nitor, before coming back to Nitor, there is National Institute of Traumatology and Orthopedic Rehabilitation, the Mother Institute. Then many of the peoples, they are not known to him. When he is coming and he started his working, then everything is. By this time, still I can sternly say that many people are doing Elizarov, but not the correct way, but only they apply the Elizarov and go to the home, please. They advise the patient go to the home and coming back to the doctor again and again. Not that. It will be rational, it will be systemic, and it will be humanity. The background is concerned also. What I want to say that Professor Baris shows to us the proximal humerus fracture. There are many options, particularly ORI, ORIF, percutaneous KOR fixation, and Elizarov method is. So percutaneous method fixation, when it is possible, then we should be rational. The infection, the more hard things in my brain, that is, I am always troubled in the heart, core of my heart, that when any infection in the forearm fracture, particularly the long bone fractures, that Professor Barisar knows. I asked him what will be the final result. So you can do the proximal humerus fracture or shaft of the humerus fracture or distal humerus fracture, and within ORIF very nicely by our good guys, good orthopedic surgeons, but that is an infection. And pattern is coming to the doctors, they consult him and pass for consult to the ICDDRB or any other good center, and then the antibiotic. In that position, it is the only headache of me, particularly me, when I just learned something from Professor Bari, and I was attested closely to Professor Bari in Nitor. When I was a junior guy and his younger brother, like, then I started nice application of Elizarov in that region also. Say, for example, in like the radial fracture, Monteggia-Galeazzi fracture, all are open case or like that. In the open case gastro 1 or 2, there is many other options. You can give the only KY on the Rashpin there, and after some days you can removal of the Rashpin or KY and then apply Elizarov. That is the man-to-man and doctor-to-doctor variation. I always think about the infection. Where there is infection, there is no answer. And Elizarov is that answer. In the what Dr. Samsul Huda from his lecture, I know that there is just some machine injury over the forearm. So initially we can fix a very minimally, very minimally, because there is a there will be the vascular problem or neurological problem. I think gastro 3C also. I think 3B. Only a KY fixation is sufficient. A rush pain is sufficient. Then the vascular team is ready for doing the next phases. And also, if possible, there will be flap. If needed, you can do the flap. Forearm, many flaps are there. Chest flap, abdominal flap, groin flap, and there. And we know some flaps, common flaps, in the upper arm and in the distal arm also. As orthopedic surgeons, we have no need for the scapular, that is the latissimus dorsi flap. It is the subject of the plastic eye. Latissimus dorsi flap. Some orthopedic surgeons we can do that, but only a simple flap, rotational flap, you can cover the bone, you can cover the exposed bone. Then you can apply the simple XPS followed by Elizarov. So, what Professor Bari sir is what I said before. He is the legendary man in the Elizarov, not only in Bangladesh, in the world actually. So he has vast experience in that regions. I have a little idea, and I did it because I was his secretary. I may be the president of the society, or I may be the director of it, but I am his younger brother. I am his secretary of Assam International in Bangladesh chapter. So I learned many things from him. Always I try to say something through the Raj TV and through ourselves and disseminate it to the people. What we did, what we will do, that will be the beneficial of the patient. And very short time, they will be rehabilitated. That is my point. So, again, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to come here as a panelist. And I am a luckiest person. Still, I cannot talk nicely because I have been suffering corona for a long time, for 40 days, and I was coming back from the death. So brave on me. And Professor Bari was also affected, but he's a little bit. So today is the first first moment that I am coming in front of the video, in front of the screen. So thanks, Dr. Samsuluda. Go ahead, and I advise you, particularly when we are talking about the lower limb, then you have some common flaps to the knee, particularly the knee, tibia, fibula, ankle, and the foot. We must learn some common flaps, very simple flaps that were the soleus flap, the flap delay, the sural island flap delay, medial gastroflap, lateral gastroflap, medial lateral myocutaneous graft for the coverage of the knee and the whole part of the tibia, and also the around the ankle and the foot also, reconstruction of the foot also. Then you will be the good one. When I present that Professor Bari, he knew many things. He has taken me in the many European countries, in the United States, and here he inspired me to present it openly for the to the orthopedic surgeons. Then many of the orthopedic surgeons, they are very much surprised that how can orthopedic surgeons can do the common flaps. But then I told them as a orthopedic surgeons, you must do it. You must do it. You must do it. Some common flaws. Common flaws. So through this meeting, I think I have conveyed my message to all those who are doing the Elizarov. Please be doing some common flaws. Otherwise, the patient will be very much unhappy and they suffered a lot. So these are the things. Again, thanks, Professor Bari sir. Salute you for particularly my best subject, infective non-union. It is my best. And gap non-union, how to lengthen the bone for your kind and endeavor process in NITOD. If you are not in NITOD, then we cannot say. If the doctors, we have many doctors in Bangladesh, about 2,000 orthopedic surgeons now in Bangladesh, but many of the orthopedic surgeons are still hibernate. They are doing the common method. They are trying to do the common method. And any problem, they have some problem in their head, they send it to Professor Bari and the Elizarov man, to me also. So thank you very much. Again,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Professor Bari sir has the rest of the lectures are yet.
Yes, sir.
So I request Dr. Tanvir to start and to.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Okay,
sir. Thank you very much for sharing your vast experience with us. Professor Mafakhrul Bari sir has joined with us due to some network problem. We missed some part of his presentation. Sir, do you want to complete your presentation or do you want to discuss? It's up to you. What do you think, sir? Professor Mafakhrul Bari.
Tanvir, thank you very much. I'm sorry that I could not show you some of the slides. Most of the slides are covered. Thanks, Director Gonimullah, my younger brother. I love him too much. And Shamsulullah, my younger brother, I love him also too much. And he had rightly explained everything. That is good.
So what about
principal? And you also, you are my direct student and everything. That's why. So whenever you learn Elizarov, basic principle, basic things you should have to know. Even then, I all the time see whenever I see the apparatus frame, how the orthopedic surgeon they're applying, basic principle you must know. Without knowing the basic principle, basic things, you cannot proceed to the advanced one. And if you learn the basic things, if you start with the, I always tell, start with the lower limb, particularly tibia, you gain 10, 15, 20 cases, you do the tibia, you'll be very good Elizarov surgeon, even 20, 30 cases. Then you proceed gradually. You come to the femur. I don't understand most of the orthopedic surgeons knowing anything, always tell whenever you put Elizarov the humerus, they're telling, uttering all the time, just like a parrot. The Elizarov is a cumbersome. Cumbersome because of that, because you don't know how to apply basic principle. You don't want to occur the basic principle. That's why my suggestion, if you're a good Elizarov surgeon, you can cover 90%, 85 to 90% of the orthopedic problems. Deformity, no other good options in the world except Elizarov. Trauma, you have a lot of options. Yes. Castillo 1, 2. Directors are told 1, 2, you can go for plating and nailing. Yes. Whenever I love Elizarov, of course, limitless. Every case is difficult. Every case is new. Every wire is new. Every patient is new. That is the main thing. So my suggestions for the young doctors, please learn Elizarov. And you'll be able to give a very good service to the third world poor patients in the third world countries. And that is my message. If you do Elizarov properly, you can cover a lot of things in the orthopedic and trauma. This is my message. Thank you very much, Raj TV, Director Sir, and Shamsuluddha and Tanveer for allowing us to talk in Raj TV regarding the trauma problems and how we can manage. And unfortunately, I could not attend the. Of course, I have seen the lecture of Huda in different places in India. I could not follow the lecture due to the internet problem. I'm sorry for that. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So I want to ask one question to Dr. Shamsuluddha, sir. Though it was a very short lecture, but it was a magnificent lecture. Sir, do you put Elizarov before skin grafting, or in case of covering the soft tissue with VAC or skin graft? You have shown a slide that you put Elizarov before skin grafting.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Tanveer. It was a case of compound forearm fracture with a compartment syndrome where a vasectomy was done. So I applied a primary Elizero the case, and after the wound was healed, then I applied a skin grafting over it. So in our cases in primary trauma, either in upper limb or lower limb, I apply a skin graft or flap or even VAC. After Elizero, we can temporarily remove the wires, apply flap graft, and put back the wires if needed.
Which one will you prefer? First skin graft, then Elizarov, or first Elizarov, then skin graft, sir?
Elizero is a primary device, and then skin graft or flap if needed.
Okay, then we can put the Elizarov before skin grafting also.
Exactly. In that case, I did only that. I put Elizero when the wound was healed.
Can I add here?
Yes, sir.
Even keeping the Elizarov apparatus, you can put the skin grafting. You can go for skin grafting.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the things. Tanveer, that is the
Yes,
thing.
sir.
But there is a need for flap, like the chest flap or abdominal flap or the groin flap. In that case, you cannot do the Elizarov in the first sense. In that case, you have the open reduction. That means blood screw synthesis or osteosynthesis or the Kashmir is there. And when there will be a soft tissue injury, simple skin injury or soft tissue injury, sub-Q up to sub-Q, then you can apply the Elizarov first.
So, just to add, in one of my lower limb cases of tibia compound fracture, I applied Elizero and slide around 1 inch of bone was exposed. So I planned the ring accordingly. I had to apply a flap with my plastic surgeon. I just removed the wires from one ring, applied the flap, and the same setting applied wires again.
Oh, that's great.
But
That's great.
I can ask a question to Shamsuluddha. Why
Yes,
you are
sir.
not doing the flap? You try
Sir,
to
it
do
was
the
a-
flap.
Yes, sir.
You
For
can.
flap, in that case, I will have
Soleus
to
flap,
do.
medial gastro flap, or
Yes, sir.
myopidus flap, or sural island flap. It is not
Yes.
it is not a
Yes, sir.
very dangerous thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right now,
It's
sir,
a
we are
very
used to
simple
have
flap.
plastic surgeons, but we
I
need to
think
learn.
you are a younger man than us. Professor Bari is young, senior to me, and I have
Yes, sir.
also set a 2-3 running. Okay, but you are the man. You can do. Dr. Tanveer, you can do. You must do. What you can do. But come on,
Exactly,
now,
sir.
and ask
Yes, sir.
you ask your students, you ask your colleagues. You can do. When we are doing the flap coverage in America, United States, in San Francisco, Los Angeles, with Professor Mufakkar Bari in the SIGN conference in America, why they are saying, why they are teaching on flaps in Los Angeles, a 2 days program, in San Francisco, 2 days program with a good category. Why? Because of the limb salvage procedure, because of the good flap coverage, the orthopedic surgeons, there is no plastic surgeons. All are orthopedic surgeons in the world, third world countries, and all also the European countries also, from India also, many people. So you must learn some common flaps. Through that, you can help the patient. You can learn your junior colleagues. You can learn your teaches your students and benefit to the patient.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank all of our participants. I would like to thank Professor Mofakkarul Bari sir for his nice and magnificent presentation, and we are eagerly waiting for the next session. And definitely, I would like to thank our international faculty, Dr. Shamsul Huda sir, for joining with us. And definitely, finally, I would like to thank a very prestigious person that we have today, the President of Bangladesh Orthopedic Society and the Secretary of ASAMI, as well as the Director of the NITOR, Professor Abdul Ghani Mullah sir, to be with us. And I'm Dr. Mahmoud Tanvir Ashraf saying bye-bye to you, and hope we'll see you in the next Friday with another topic that will be the magical Elizarov in case of lower limb trauma. Till then, bye-bye. Assalamu alaikum.
You are watching Raj TV, Jagorone, Bangladesh. Please subscribe our channel.